Alright guys, welcome back to the Mumen Rider YouTube channel. Today's video is about a recap of what went down last Sunday. Last Sunday was the 2021 Storming of Thunder Ridge, the annual event. It was so massive, so big. 856 riders in total, I think, had signed up for it. And I had heard later on that only about 100 or so hadn't come out. You know, give or take, a little bit less than 100 hadn't actually come out, but still, over 700, well over 700 came out, attended the event. It was massive. It was amazing. So, what us Mumen riders did, we had just about the whole team down representing. And what we did was, a lot of them got down Friday night after work. So then Saturday morning, we all go for a quick bike ride. Let me give a recap of who all was there. We have Steve. We have Try Guy, also named Steve. We call him Try Guy because he's into triathlons and stuff too. So Steve, Try Guy, Pat, myself, yours truly, Josiah, and they brought down the newest member, Matt, who is, I think he's our youngest member as well. He's 19 years old, newest member of the Mumen Rider group. Dude, stories about him. He was pretty strong, let me tell you. He's pretty strong. And then we had Dan and John. John, who is Steve's brother, who was one of our first Mumen riders. It was great. So, fitness-wise, strength-wise, Steve, he's been running a lot. He has a goal this year in running that he's trying to achieve. So he's been running quite a bit, 2 to 4 times a week, steady. And each time, you know, like a good solid 4 miles. So his cardio, his lungs are there. Maybe his leg strength for biking quite isn't there, but his cardio and his lungs are solid. They're there. And then we have Try Guy, who has a Zwift thing, and he's been biking indoors on that, on his indoor trainer, Zwift trainer. So he's in pretty good shape, pretty decent shape. He's feeling pretty confident. Then we have John, who last year he was super strong. This is Steve's brother, John. Last year he was super strong, super fit, getting into it. This year he has absolutely done nothing. The week leading up to Storming Thunder Ridge, so Storming Thunder Ridge was Sunday, this past Sunday. I'm a few days out from it. And then, so the week prior to that, John had biked twice. Before that, he hadn't biked for like 4 months or something crazy. So then he biked twice leading up to this 100-miler. Like, bro, like, I don't know. But anyway, moving on. So his fitness level was, as you can see, peak condition. Like, up at the top. Peak condition. Anyway, peak condition for him. Then we have Dan, who's just been a boss. He started out in the Mumen Rider group as he was our youngest member. And when he started out, he was just getting into it. His fitness wasn't quite there. Our first Mumen Rider group, he was only able to do some of it. Also, partly because he got lost or something. Whatever. But anyway. So this time, he's been training his tail off. And he was in such good shape. Been doing group rides weekly. He's from North Carolina. Group rides weekly. Just like mowing down the miles. I'm like, dude, so he was actually super strong, especially for longer rides endurance-wise. Super strong. Then there's me. I train on the indoor trainer pretty much 4 times a week, and then on the weekends I'll try to get out and do a bike ride on Saturday. Sometimes on Sunday, sometimes on Sunday, but usually, yeah. So I try to bike 4 or 5 times a week. Decently hard. Try to do lots of intervals and stuff. So my endurance might be there for longer rides, but let me tell you, if we have to do like short little bursts or sprints, well, that's kind of all I train. So it's pretty good. It's interesting. And then there's Matt, the newest member, 19-year-old Matt. Bro, he went to college. He was in college this past semester and everything, getting super fit, super in shape, you know, working out a lot. But he only biked about 5 or 6 times throughout the whole semester. And so then also last week, leading up to Storming Thunder Ridge, he biked with the group because he's up from New Jersey. He biked with the group twice, kind of leading up to it, which was the first time he'd really been out on a bike. because he'd been biking at college, on indoor trainers, probably said 5 or 6 times throughout the whole semester. But, he's super clean eating, fit. He just looks super fit and strong and clean. He just hasn't really had any bike time. So we're just like, that's awesome, but I don't know how you're going to last for 100 miles because it's going to be crazy. So anyway, I think that was all of us. Yep, Try Guy, Steve. Oh, and then there's Pat. Pat had not been biking a ton until the last 2.5 weeks leading up to it. Then all of a sudden he was biking a ton, just killing it. He had finally gotten his bike fixed. His bike had the back derailleur broken off or something. So anyway, he had a new part replaced on it, and he's fixed. And so then he's just like, dude, he was biking quite a bit. But of course, he doesn't record any of his rides. He's like, I'm ghost training. I'm ghost training. It's just like no one knows how much I'm actually doing, but I'm doing miles. So anyway, so he's kind of like the dark horse. We're just like, are you gonna be able to make it? Are you gonna fall off the bandwagon in 25 miles and just be cramping? But he seemed pretty strong. So anyway, they all get down there. Friday, we get a good night's rest, and the next morning, Saturday morning, we come and we meet at a house. We're gonna do a bike check, just a little quick flat terrain ride bike check, 22 miles on super flat roads. So we all meet there and we do that, and that went super well. We were all looking pretty strong, pretty good, and so I'm like, okay, this is all right. But John, who he actually had a good gauge of his own physical ability then as well. So he's just like, yeah, tomorrow, Sunday, when we do the race, you guys do your own pace. I'm just going to pace my own pace because I know if I try to stay with you guys, I'll probably blow myself up and only be able to last 20 miles. So I'm just going to do my own pace and see how far I can go. And it's just kind of going to be the start of me kind of getting back in shape and everything. So that'll be good. So Friday night also, before the guys got in there, I went and picked up everyone's packets so we could have all those ready to go. Because years prior, we had always botched getting there in the morning. As in, the first year, we show up an hour late. We woke up the morning of, and it's like, oh, our tires are flat. We should probably pump them up. Oh, one tire's tube has a hole in it. That's no good. So that's why we always do a bike check now, Saturday, the day before. And so it's a good thing, too, because we're doing the bike check on Saturday, and we realize one guy forgot his shoes. Luckily, I have another pair of clip-in shoes I was able to give him. One guy got a flat tire. Good thing we were able to change the tube out Saturday, the day before. One guy also, he had his clip-ins. He had just gotten new shoes, but he wasn't really liking the feel of his clip-ins and stuff, so he switched them. Another guy, too, the same thing happened. He switched his clip-ins. He had the new pair. He wasn't liking the feel of them. They were feeling too rigid and stuff, so he switched to his older pair, and he said he'll break in the newer pair later on down the road. So, it makes sense. So we had, all these things we were doing. One guy, Pat's bike, it was making a clicking noise and stuff, wasn't really clicking into one of his gears, so we were trying to fix that up, too, the day before. So it was good. We got all these things kind of fixed the day before the actual 100-miler. So that's why bike checks, regular bike checks, very, very important. And we have a guy, Try Guy, who's actually has all of the bike tools, knows a ton about bikes. It's good to have him on the team. It's good to have someone like that. We were all thinking, man, he should just, open up his own, bike shop. If that's, a good thing to do around where he is. But it can be hard to start that up and stuff, especially when he already has a good job. But anyway, wow, can't get off too many rabbit trails. But anyway, so the morning of, we wake up. We all get there, and we find each other, and we're pretty grouped together, which is one thing that hasn't happened before. Because the second time, so the first time we get there, I was, in the past, going back to what I was saying originally, in the past, the first year we get there, we're all an hour late, discombobulated. Second year, we get there kind of-ish on time, but we got there at separate times in the parking lot, so we can't really find each other. And so the people roll out, the big ride starts, and we're just the first hour, we're trying to bike through the massive group, trying to find each other. So this year, we finally get it right. We show up together. We're all in a group together. One guy's bike, the gear was still kind of clicking, wasn't really working. So we kind of worked on that a little bit, and everyone's supposed to roll out at 7:30 a.m. We roll out at 7:33, so that's really good. We were all there. We were on a group. Started about 3 minutes late. Not too shabby, and that included us taking pictures together at the beginning and everything too. So I'm like, this is pretty good. Not too shabby. We're all kind of staying together. We get with the group, and yeah, because everyone was kind of rolling out their own pace. Normally, each year they'll have a big mass start, but this year, because of COVID regulations, they were just having kind of people roll out at their own pace, so there aren't as many big, congested groups starting at once. So we kind of roll out then. We find another group on the road. We kind of stick to them. We lose John, but he had told us before, don't wait up for me. I'm pacing myself my own way. So we lose him a little bit, and we're all going. We're all feeling pretty strong, setting a nice tone, nice pace, booking it out to the beginning of the climb. Beginning of the climb. So we all kind of stop at the first rest stop, which is about 2 miles away from the base of the climb. And we're there, all as a group. John shows up. He's there too. We're like, bro, John, you weren't that far behind us. You were like 3 minutes behind us. You know, just pacing yourself your own way. He's like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm still pacing myself my own way, so you guys go on ahead. So we're like, okay. And then we get back with the group together. We just start pacing each other. Find another group that had stopped at the rest stop, and now they're on the road. And we just kind of mooch off of them a little bit again. So we're really trying to find people just to draft behind, because we're like, oh, energy, spending it ourselves? No, we'll slot right in behind them. That'll be good. So that's what we're doing. And it's working. We're all feeling pretty good, pretty fresh. We're saving our legs. And then we get to that climb. And the night before, people had been like, Try Guy had been like, I really want you to try to just burn it up the climb. See how fast you can do. See if you can get a PR on the climb. I'm like, okay, I guess so. At first I was going to just try to pace myself with the rest of the team and everything. But then I decided, no, I'll actually try to really get up that climb quickly. So I do. We get to the base of the climb, and I take Dan. Dan had been training a lot. I take Dan with me. I'm like, Dan, let's try to book it up this climb. Dan's like, all right, let's do it. So we start going. We start just cranking out the power. Like, massive amount of, I'm kidding. We weren't really doing that much power, but we were going up there pretty quickly. So I'm going. Dan's able to stay with me for about 12 minutes. Just over 12 minutes. And then he starts getting burnt out. He's like, all right, I need to slow the pace down for myself a little bit. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to see how fast I can get up here. So I do that. And I beat my PR by 30 seconds. It's crazy. Up a whole 13-mile climb, I climbed about 30 seconds faster than I had previously, like 2 weeks ago. I was like, really? All that? I felt like I was going faster, but then right at the end, I felt like I slowed down a little bit. So then I get up to the top. My goal was to get up the 13-mile climb in under an hour, and I don't do that. I was like an hour and 7 minutes and like something seconds, 11 seconds or something. So it was like, no. But felt pretty good still. And at the top, they have a nice rest stop there. Very nice rest stop. Lots of good food. So I'm up there. I'm just munching food. Because our goal was, however slow or fast we go up the climb, we're going to wait at the top at the rest stop. We're all going to regroup there. And then we're going to try to do the rest of the 100-mile bike ride together. Up to the top of the climb is about mile 41. So then we have to descend, and we have 59 miles more to go. So that was my goal. So I'm waiting up there. Dan rolls in. He did the climb in an hour and 21 minutes. That was his fastest. Yeah, that was actually like the second fastest in our Mumen rider group. That's the second fastest anyone has done it. Super fast, super good, super strong. So props to him. The first time he'd ever done it, which was last year, we went out and did it. It took him about 3 hours. But also he had lots of water he was carrying because he wasn't sure how it was going to be first time he'd ever done it. So this time he's booking it up there. He does an amazing job. Amazing job. It's crazy how much biking a lot and fitness can change. Where he was 3 hours to an hour and 21 minutes. I'm like, bro, you do it again next year at this rate, you're going to get it in 40 minutes and be the KOM of the, whole place. So anyway, So then we keep waiting, and then Try Guy comes up next. He kind of really tried to push hard because there's a rest stop about halfway up, and then he tried to really push hard the second half after that halfway up rest stop. I didn't stop at it, but all the other guys did. So he stopped at it, and then he pushed really hard. He did it in like an hour and 35 minutes. That's pretty good. People will be like, well, what's so talking so much about this climb? Because the climb is hard. Very hard. Very epic. And it's literally the main attraction of the event. People come just to do this 13-mile climb. It's actually like 12.66 miles to be exact. But anyway, minor details. Minor details. So then the rest of the guys, they roll in at about an hour and 50 minutes. And then John's not too far behind them. He does it in like an hour and 58 minutes. So everyone there had done it in under 2 hours, which is very, very good. Very awesome for our team. So then they're stopping, we're resting, we're munching lots and lots of food. So then we roll out, and it's the descent. I get on the front because I've done the descent many times before, making sure they don't go off the road, because 2 years ago, one of our Mumen riders, my brother actually, Jace, he was like going down the corner way too fast, off the road. You can check one of the past videos I've done about that, because that's the real thing. We don't want it. This corner is super dangerous. So anyway, I'm at the front leading them down, and we all get down to the bottom, safe and sound. There actually had been another rider who had crashed on this one and wrecked. So we passed him. Luckily, he was able to get great medical attention, great medical help, and he's doing all right, But that's just the importance of paying attention. And I love the organization, the people who set up the whole ride, because they'll write on the road, slow down, sharp corner coming up. But this guy who was, I guess, new or something, he hadn't done it before, first time coming out to do it. I don't know how much attention he was paying to those, and he was booking it down and stuff, and so he just took a corner too fast and fell. But that's why I'd done it before. I'm leading our whole group down. They're all kind of behind me. We're slowing down at the corners, taking it very carefully, because the last thing we want to do on a nice, fun event is to have someone wiped out and then have our friends come pick them up, or even an ambulance come pick them up. So that's just no fun. So we make it all down to the bottom. We all regroup, and we all start just trucking along. Try Guy is actually starting to feel it now. I guess his really hard push up the hill. And then also, he's always kind of been a little concerned about descents and everything. So I kind of roll back with him, and he's just like, yeah, descending, for me, that was almost more tiring, because I'm just locked, and I'm just, everything upper body is so tight, I feel like I can't relax. So it's almost more tiring in a sense. And it's true. When I first started biking, there were a couple of descents where I'd go down and I'd just feel so tired at the end. My whole upper body. Obviously, your legs aren't really spinning. You're just kind of coasting down. But that's true. That makes sense. So he ended up slowing down a bit then, and he started pacing himself with John. And John now, he was saying, I'm going to do the 75 mile. I did the climb. I'm not going to do the whole 100 miles. I'm going to, because they have different routes along the way. You can do this loop to do 100 miles total, or you do this loop and then kind of do a shortcut back, and it makes you 75 miles. So that's what John did. Try Guy, he was like, I'm gonna join John. I don't want to overdo it, over push it. Last year when I had done it with you guys, I really over pushed it, and then I felt like terrible the whole rest of the evening and everything, so I couldn't really hang out and have fun with you guys. I'm not gonna overdo it. So he makes the wise, right choice. And so yeah, that's what John and Try Guy did. So they kind of slow up, ease up a bit. So now at the front, it's just myself, Pat, Steve, Matt, and Dan. And Dan's just still been so strong. Every time we come up to a little rise or a little hill, Dan just plows up to the top so quickly. We're all back in a group, just kind of setting our own pace and everything. But Dan will just be like, take off, and then he'll kind of wait up for us and get at the back, and then he'll another climb, little short, mini climbs, because it's rolling now. After the big major climb, the rest of the terrain is just all rolly, nice, easy hills. So that's what he's doing. He's just like, bro, I've just learned to just attack the hills, just sprint up the hills. And I'm like, that's good, but I'm thinking about, like, we're trying to get all of us here. I don't know how Steve's biking fitness is. Running's good, but Steve's biking fitness. Matt's never, ever biked 100 miles in his life. The most he's ever biked was, like, that same week. He went out and biked, like, a 35-mile ride with the group. And that's, like, the longest he's ever biked. So I'm a little concerned, like, how is he going to hold up and make it? So we're going and feeling pretty good. Some of these hills are really starting to bite, but we're working it, we're making it work. Then all of a sudden, Matt, one of his calf muscles cramp, sees up, just slow up a bit. And we're like, oh dude, that can be, because if we're kind of out somewhere and it cramps up, that's just, it's scary, because it's like, we're like, okay, drink water, take another gel. Another rest stop is really close, so we're going to get up to that. We get up to the next rest stop. We're trying to really hydrate, put lots of fluids in. He takes another gel. He has the 5-hour energy. Bro, 5-hour energy. He chugs that little thing. Let me tell you, those things must work wonders or something. Because after that, he's fine the rest of the day. Not only that, all these little hills and stuff, he's just like gunning up them. I'm just like, what in the world? Is that like a turbo drink or something? It's crazy. So he was like, I feel like I should almost be promoting 5-hour energies now after this. I feel like I should get paid for just promoting them. And for real though, 5-hour energies. Don't know how health-wise it is for you on a long bike ride, but it seemed to keep him going and no more problems cramping or anything like that. And so we get to rest stop number 5. Rest stop number 5 is the crucial rest stop for, if you take a right, then you do the 100-mile loop. But if you go straight, then you take the shortcut home, and you do the 75-mile loop. So we're ahead in our group of 5. Dan, Pat, myself, Matt, and Steve. John and Try Guy were still back, taking their own pace. They're going to get to that rest stop and then take that straight shortcut home. And so we grab our food, grab some water, fill up. We're like, all right, we're rolling back out. Well, here's the thing. Dan, he had parked his bike more at the back, and he had been so strong all day, passing us on hills. Us 4 had kind of parked our bikes more towards the front of the rest area. So we all look, we're all grabbing our bikes. We take off, and we make that right turn and start doing the 100-miler. Well, Dan, I don't think he had seen us. Well, obviously, later on he said he hadn't seen us take that turn. So he goes, and he's just super faster than all of us. So, and he goes straight onto the 75-mile thing. And so, none of us knew. We're like, no, Dan, he's going to catch us in a couple minutes. Well, we're biking along, and we're like, where's Dan? He should have caught us on that first hill, because he's been gunning up these hills. Where is he? What's happening? What's going on here? We're like, oh, he'll catch us. And he doesn't catch us. And so we're like kind of concerned, where is Dan? Well, the thing is, we can't turn around and maybe try to find him, because we're like, what if he went straight and he did the shortcut 75-miler back to town? And if that's the case, none of us can catch him because he's super, super fast. So I don't know what's going to happen. At the end of the day, we find out, yep, he tells us, I did do the 75-miler. I wasn't, it's like I wasn't paying attention to the road curve. It says 100-milers go this way. And I was just like, oh, they booked it. And the thing is, we weren't setting a fast pace at all. We were just chugging along at our normal pace, trying to pace ourselves well so we could actually make it home without anyone else cramping. So we're doing that. And so we're like, he'll catch us. We're not going fast. He'll catch us. But he doesn't. And so he's like, I booked it down the 75-mile shortcut. I booked it that way for 10 miles, like as fast as I could. And then I slowed up and everything and stopped. And I was like, where is it? I should have caught everyone. And I was like, dude, yeah, you probably would have caught people within the first 2 minutes. That's what's crazy. But anyway, so we finished that. Ooh, my lovely wife getting home. Oh, yeah. So we finish, and so we finish from that rest stop. We keep going, doing a pretty good job, pacing ourselves well. It's great, because no more mishaps, no more stuff comes up, and we're able to really make it all back. Super, super cool. And I was doing a lot of, at the front more, pulling, trying to break the wind for the guys, since I wasn't sure about their stamina in that sense. But man, towards the end, I was starting to feel it. And Pat did a turn or two at the front to help out and everything, because he's been biking under the radar, so he was pretty strong, pretty good. So that was really good. So we finished, all of us. We get back in. We finished. No more mishaps, other than Dan forgetting or missing that turn and doing the other route. No more mishaps, no more cramping. Dude, it was a success. One of the best, most successful, like, non-mechanicals or anything like that. Best rides so far to date, Mumen Rider rides. Super cool. And I love at the end, too. We all pull up, we all get there, and they all have nice, cool salad. They have pizza waiting for us. Pizza was boss. Pizza waiting for us, nice, cool salad, everything. And so refreshing. We all made it. And even Steve afterwards, he was just like, bro, this was like probably my best in shape one I've done of here. He's like, I think the running's been helping so much with the cardio and everything, which, yeah, obviously it would. So that's awesome. He was feeling great the whole time. Matt made it. What a champ. Bro, his legs, calf starts cramping, but he recovers from it quickly. And then he just makes it. And he's just strong the rest of the time, making it up these climbs, making it up these hills. So strong the rest of the time. It's crazy. So he's a great new part of the Mumen Rider group. Hopefully we'll keep expanding this, bringing in new riders, and make this actually a massive, large, cool community thing where we can just meet up and be biking all these events together. That's eventually our end goal. Just to have great community, great riders. But it was a blast. It was awesome. Some of them took off that Sunday after the ride. Some slept and then took off Monday morning. But bro, it was great stuff. Super great stuff. So we were super pumped, super happy about it all. We're looking for more events coming up this year. So guys, make sure you like, subscribe. Keep you posted on more events to come and more epic rides that we will just document, because it's super important. Super important to not forget these fun events that we do with each other. But anyway, guys, till next time, it was a blast. 2021, Storming Thunder Ridge, in the books. Yeah.